before you came on, we were talking about the war in the Ukraine, right? And, there's rumors that the Russians are going to back off. Do you think there's any way for Putin to save face on this one?
I don't know, man. I don't know whether anybody's going to save face on this one. I just don't understand it because I could tell you, I've been in Putin's company many times, and when I see him on television now, his eyes, he just doesn't look like the same guy.
Yeah, he's you wouldn't look like the same guy. He's under 24-hour assassination watch.
Well, I'm sure of that probably, but his eyes just seem cold, dead.
Well, I think he's devastated. In my view, that I think he didn't think that it was going to turn out like this. I think that he thought that he was going to just scare them into submission by surrounding them with over 100,000 troops. I think he was shocked. Completely fucking shocked that they.
I don't like them bombing everything.
Pardon me?
And people having to scatter with bombing hospitals and stuff like that.
Fucking horrible.
I just don't agree with.
Well, just horrible. We were talking before you came on. We have Bill Waters is married to a Ukrainian, decent lady, and we have a lot of friends that are Ukrainian, and they're devastated. Even our Renata, who works for us, was Polish. They're in Poland. They've taken in millions. There's no camps, refugee camps. People have taken Ukrainians into their own house. It's unprecedented.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a politician and all that baloney that they're doing, but I just don't understand it. I know that everybody keeps saying he wants to take back the whole Soviet Union, which does include Slovakia, and Poland, and all of those other places, Latvia, and I don't understand it. I don't. It just did nothing but put his own people in hardship and kill a lot of Ukrainians that
I think
didn't
he's lost
deserve
his
it.
legacy as a statesman. I think he's lost his legacy as a leader. You don't bomb children's hospitals.
No, you don't. There's no doubt about that.
Theaters that have got children in Russian printed the size of a car in front and in back, and you kill 300 women and children. That's what this guy now represents. And
that's a war crime.
His legacy.
There's rules according to the Geneva Convention, right?
Yeah.
There's things you can't breach, because if you breach them, then you become a candidate for a war criminal.
Yes.
Exactly. The funny thing is, I could only imagine how hard it is for some of the Russian players here that still have family.
They're
back
devastated.
There.
I talked to a Russian hockey player in the NHL. I'm not going to name names, and he is devastated.
Yeah, they can't even send money to their family. They can't do anything.
And you know what? It's a pretty good life for the hockey player.
Yes, it is. But I don't understand why some people and some fans in hockey are taking it out on the players. And they are. And
in the beginning they were, Phil, but I think, I'm not a Ovechkin fan. But the fact that he's a friend of Putin's, and you're a friend of Putin, you're an acquaintance of Putin's. I don't care about Ovechkin.
Listen, I agree with Phil Esposito, and when I was talking to the Russian hockey player, he is devastated that people are swearing at him, and he's against Putin.
Yeah,
he's against what Putin did, and most of the Russian people are.
You're right, and sooner or later it's
going to
come to a head one way or another.
I don't understand. For the richest man in the world, he had the world in the palm of his hands. I think he just turned 70. Now his family is living in a bomb shelter in Siberia.
Yeah, he just.
So he's in deep shit. And I really believe that he never thought this out. I believe somebody said if you put 150,000 soldiers around the Ukraine, they'll shit their pants and they'll just lay down like they did in Afghanistan. Well, that didn't happen. He's lost about 25,000, 30,000 soldiers.
Yeah.
And he lost 7 generals.
Well,
lost,
it's
and Russia's about to go bankrupt.
Yep.
It's sad.
There's
it's
a lot
sad.
of these guys.
What are those sanctions going to be? Or have they started to rear their ugly head?
Well, the ruble, like I said, has turned into rubble, and you can't get your money out of the bank in Russia. And rich people who are used to eating beluga caviar and drinking Cristal champagne are fucking starving because they have no access to money. And all the big companies, all the big brands have pulled out of Russia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
When that happens, you're fucked.
It was a mistake. I believe in my heart that this is one of the biggest mistakes ever.
100%.
In the world.
I'm with you. I really believe, because if you take a look at the evidence, which is irrefutable, they weren't set up. They didn't have food, fuel, or anything to go in for a war. They went. They did it just to scare. It was a dog and pony show. And then when they went in, they thought that the Ukrainians would crumble, and the Ukrainians were waiting for them. They shot them. They killed them. They blew up tanks. They just sank one of the biggest Russian destroyers.
Yeah. One thing now I worry about, is he crazy enough and has he lost his mind enough to do the stupidest thing that they could with germ warfare?
Before he does that, I believe, and you're a historian, Phil, I believe that his own guys will kill him.
Yeah.
Well, they got the czars out of there in the 1800s, early 1900s, and started all again, and they don't last. They go on, but they don't last. And I think the Russian people were very enjoying the freedom, and they were living. Look, like I told you guys this. I went to Moscow. Moscow was like being in New York. I mean, it was wide open, and people were everywhere. The people were very nice. And again, the people, it's hard
Phil,
to...
you were in Moscow, or even St. Petersburg, where you have to be extremely rich to live there.
Oh, right. There's no doubt.
No doubt. If you don't have money, you're not in Moscow. You're fucking, you're with a sickle, shredding wheat.